And it's time for race number 9 of 29 in the 1989 throwbacks. It's a lot of nines. Anyways, it is time for our second of 4 big events of the Winston Million Challenge. Geoff Bodine won the Daytona 500, and that means if he wins today, he will get a $100,000 bonus, and he will get to go to Charlotte next week or Darlington later in the season for a chance to win $1 million. Let's go to Talladega. Qualifying going on. And your pole sitter is going to be Ken Schrader at 198.677 miles an hour. So Ken Schrader is going to be your pole sitter. No surprise, the Hendrick Motorsport cars have just dominated the Superspeedway races, especially in speed. And we'll show you your top 10 right here, as we've got Ken Schrader on the pole, Bill Elliott second, Darrell Waltrip third, Mark Martin fourth, Harry Ganton fifth, Dale Earnhardt sixth, Geoff Bodine seventh, Rusty Wallace eighth, Tim Richmond ninth, and Phil Parsons in 10th. Command.
Start your engines.
Sorry about that. I literally got something stuck in the back of my throat. Oh, that was awful. Anyways, everyone gets rolling off. What should be an excellent race today. We'll see how it works out. So Geoff Bodine, just to reiterate, he will start 7th for that chance to win $100,000 today, on top of his earnings here at the Winston 500 at Talladega. It's the fastest race of the year. The cars are coming down to the line, and the green flag is in the air. Here we go. Elliott was the one that got the jump. Is he able to clear the 35? Not quite. He's going to try to make that outside lane work, though. Elliott is so strong at the Superspeedway races, and it looks like he will have Ken Schrader cleared. And we've got a car smoking down the back straightaway. That is the 71 of Dave Marcus. So already not a good day for him. And you'll see that Bill Elliott and Mark Martin, both of those guys starting on the outside, they are going to go 1-2 here at Talladega, and Martin's going to waste no time trying to go for the lead. He's going to be denied the lead by Elliott. And now Ken Schrader, who tried to pull the same move as Elliott, was unsuccessful as Waltrip got underneath him. As you can see, Waltrip's going to go to 3rd, Ganton 4th, Terry Labonte is going to move into 5th. And we get the field split here. Now they're going to go 3 wide down the back straightaway. The only line with hope is going to be on the bottom. And Waltrip's going to win that race for certain. Terry Labonte is going to go to 2nd. And now we've got Brett Bodine potentially going to 3rd here by the end of the corner. A block job by Labonte is going to send him all the way to the bottom of the track. And he's going to get help from at least manufacturer teammate Brett Bodine, as they're going to go to the stripe. And Terry Labonte is going to lead that lap, as it's 3 Fords in a row on the bottom. Terry Labonte, Brett Bodine, and the person who was fastest in practice with a speed of 200.7 miles per hour, Neil Bonnet. And right behind him is Morgan Shepherd, and that was the ride that he was in last year. Shepherd getting pushed by equally old veteran, but still rookie Dick Trickle, who's pretty much a rookie in name alone. This is his first year in the Cup Series, but he is the definition of a legendary dirt track racer. Meanwhile, Geoff Bodine and Terry Labonte, they might have something going on here because they've been working together, pulling away from the pack a little bit. They are 1-2 for the time being, and it doesn't look like that either of them really want to challenge each other for now. And Waltrip pulls down. He's going to try to challenge him alone. That's not going to work. And Bodine and Labonte right now, they've got that strategy worked out. Hey, your friends are where you can find them. And right now, Terry Labonte seems to have a really good and fast friend in the form of Geoff Bodine. And Bodine is not coming off the bumper of that 11 car. Meanwhile, we've got two Hendrick teammates here in the form of Geoff Bodine and Darrell Waltrip. And now the question is, where do Geoff Bodine's affiliates lie? Does it lie with his brother Brett, or does it lie with his teammate Waltrip? Earnhardt's in 5th. Kowicki 6th. Michael Waltrip in 7th. And you could see potentially there Geoff Bodine's affinities going with Waltrip at first, but then he goes to the high lane, and then Waltrip gets hung out to dry. So it's still the 11 and the 15 up front. Single file racing going on for right now. And now Earnhardt and Waltrip, they try to pull down on the leaders, but Earnhardt wanted to get greedy. And now Michael Waltrip's going to go to the back of Earnhardt. Now he's going to go to the bottom of Earnhardt, going 3 wide for the position, and he just doesn't have the momentum to do that. Meanwhile, Terry Labonte and Geoff Bodine, they're working with each other right now. And it's going to be really hard to dethrone these guys from the lead. Earnhardt's going to try to do it by himself. There's no way he's going to be able to do that. He's going to try. Oh, he got into Geoff Bodine there. Gave him a little bump draft, and he slides up the track. And now here comes Darrell Waltrip along with him. And now that Terry Labonte doesn't have his drafting team anymore, how long is he going to stay in the lead for? Not long. Here comes Waltrip and Earnhardt to the bottom. 3 wide. Expect to see the 15 and the 11 car back up front. That was, even though they're not quote-unquote teammates, in fact, they're very rivaled owners in the form of Bud Moore and Junior Johnson. They at least share a manufacturer in Ford, and I got to tell you what, Ford's going to be very happy seeing their 2 cars up front right there. Meanwhile, Pontiac's going to start being happy because 2 out of the top 3 cars are Pontiacs. Rusty Wallace leads, Mark Martin 2nd, Kyle Petty 3rd, 4 wide for 4th. Harry Gant is able to take advantage of that. He'll move into the 4th position. Right now it goes Pontiac Ford, Pontiac Oldsmobile, and Chevrolet. We're just missing a Buick up here pretty much. You wonder where that Buick is. And there goes the 42 down to the bottom. So Kyle Petty trying to get the job done, trying to put 2 Pontiacs up front. Looks like he's going to be successful in doing so. Will he want the lead? Wallace got a little bit of a lead on the pack. It looks like Kyle Petty's going to try to support Rusty Wallace instead. And now we've got 2 Pontiacs here at the front. So Kyle Petty right now, he's just going to push Rusty Wallace up there. He's going to try to keep the Chevrolet Brigade behind him. Had a pretty action-filled first 9-10 laps here at Talladega. Meanwhile, Tim Richmond, he got the run being pushed by Elliott, but then again, anybody would get a run being pushed by Elliott. And now Rusty Wallace's leadership is in serious jeopardy. Look at the block job by Richmond there. That's going to force 3 wide. And now look at this by Wallace. Oh. Incredible driving right there. Just incredible knowledge. And great job by the spotters, too, letting you know that your driver is clear. Oh, that was almost disaster. Lap 10, and we're seeing very, very aggressive driving here by the drivers, no doubt about it. Meanwhile, Elliott looks like he's going to get sucker holed, and that is definitely what you would expect out of somebody who's racing for $100,000. Geoff Bodine is going to come to the inside. He's going to try for the lead, and it looks like he's going to get it. Geoff Bodine takes the lead. And Phil Parsons goes to the bottom, so 3 wide now. Oh boy, 3 wide coming to the stripe. It looks like... I wouldn't even be able to tell you. I really wouldn't even be able to tell you who got that one. Scoring says Phil Parsons led that lap. And boy, this pack is really, really heating up as we've got another 3 wide battle for the lead. Now they are stacked up 3-4 wide here. No line has been extremely dominant. And other than Terry Labonte getting help from Brett Bodine earlier, nobody has really had the car to beat. Right now, Sterling Marlin, he's up there with Terry Labonte. Maybe Terry Labonte just got a really fast car today. A good car to run up front, rack up the lead laps. Of course, you lead laps, you get bonus points. 5 points for leading a lap, 5 points for leading the most laps. And those are huge at the end of the day. Oh, Brett trying to squeeze down in front of Earnhardt. Looks like he's going to do it. Earnhardt let him in. Bodine wants to find his drafting partner. And I think he's going to come 1 car closer to him. Kawicki comes down low, and look at this. Bodine's going to try to make it 3 wide going into turn 1. He's not going to get there. If the 11 and the 15 get hooked together again, watch out. It might be another 5-6 laps before we see a new leader. In a 47 lap race, that is absolutely huge. Rudd. Brett Bodine continues to hug the bottom with Darrell Waltrip and Davey Allison right behind him. And sure enough, the 15's going to go with the 11. And they're hooked together again. So back to the front. Terry Labonte in the lead. Brett Bodine in second. But this time, Brett Bodine, he wants to challenge for the lead. Or maybe he was trying to block Darrell Waltrip. I'm not 100% sure what the miscommunication was there. Doesn't matter. Waltrip to the point. So Darrell Waltrip goes to the lead. He's the defending winner here at Talladega. Mark Martin in second. Harry Gant in third. The defending winner of the Winston 500 is Alan Kawicki. But the last time we came to Talladega, we had a winner, Darrell Waltrip. Now Waltrip will pull down in front of Mark Martin here. And we'll come to the line for lap 15. And I think this will be as good as any time to start looking ahead. To take a look and see who exactly isn't going too fast. And here we can see the 4 cars of Rodney Coombs, Butch Miller, J.D. McDuffie, and Jim Sauter. And these guys are definitely not in the best equipment, not in the fastest equipment, but they're making the best of it that they can. These 4 cars, they're all battling for 3 points each. Every position here in NASCAR pays points and money. So it doesn't matter where you finish. You're going to get points. You're going to get money. So last place pays 37 points out and a nice paycheck of a couple $1,000. So keep that in mind. Meanwhile, we've got these three cars here. The Junie Dunleavy car, driven by rookie Chad Little. AJ Foyt, who I think needs no introduction. And rookie Hutch Strickland driving for Rod Osterland in the 57. Jimmy Spencer is on pit road. He's driving for Buddy Baker. And the next car is Jimmy Means. He's running completely alone. And then we've got this gaggle of cars here being led by Ricky Rudd of all drivers. He ended up losing the main draft. Richard Petty, Derek Cope, Lake Speed, Ernie Irvin, Mickey Gibbs, rookie, Ben Hess, rookie, and Eddie Bierschwell can also all be seen in that pack. And then you have the lead pack. So going back up to the lead pack, we can see I saw Kyle Petty ended up leading a lap. That's 5 points for him. And now Tim Richmond assumes the lead here on lap 17. We should be seeing pit stops somewhere in the lap 25 to 28 mark, so keep that in the back of your head. And now the 25 and the 9, this is another very successful pair. They've been able to get out in front, and they've been able to do well as well. So we'll see if these two battle each other or not. Well, these are arguably the two best Superspeedway drivers in NASCAR right now. Meanwhile, we've got a 3-car breakaway, perhaps. If you want to start counting Phil Parsons, because he all of a sudden made the jump. And these guys are really starting to gain momentum and actually pull away from the main pack. Phil Parsons trying to really be ambitious. It's just not the best idea. And he almost comes in contact with Sterling Marlin. Forces him to the outside. And Bill Elliott comes to the bottom of turn 3. He's going to go for the lead. And Dale Jarrett is going to move into the top 5. There's a dark horse that nobody really expected to be up front. But Dale Jarrett driving for Cale Yarborough. He's trying to run well. Meanwhile, Phil Parsons, he's going to come down low. Not going to happen. Elliott's going to pull up front. He's got the lead for now. And the 55 car all of a sudden hits the brakes. He turns hard left. He's on the apron, and he's going very slow down the back straightaway. A potential problem for the 55 car is that's going to split the pack into 2. Definitely some big stars still up here, though. Elliott and Richmond are still part of this main pack, and they're the ones battling for position. Points position. Remember, there's only 4 points between them. And right now, Tim Richmond's gaining a lot of points. Absolutely. Coming down low here, you can see Geoff Bodine, and there's Kyle Petty down on the bottom. He's trying to snap a very long winless streak. He's only got 1 win in his career. It came all the way back in the 1986 Winston 500, the last time we ever ran without a restrictor plate here at Talladega. The race speeds were up over 210 miles per hour. It's just crazy fast. Now you can see Darrell Waltrip. He's gone to the lead. Mark Martin. He's going to try to go to the lead now. Being pushed by Sterling Marlin. He won in 1986 as well. He won the first ever restrictor plate race. And now we're going to see pit stops. We're seeing pit stops a little early here on lap 21. We were expecting to see them on lap 25, 26, 27. Lap 21 is when they're making the turn for pit road. Well, that means that we're going to see 2 pit stops today, if that's the case, and they're going to be very, very close to the end. Question is, who's going to be able to stretch it, because that's going to make a very, very interesting fuel mileage race. You got to imagine one person's going to try to make it all the way. We'll see who the lucky one is that stays out here. If anybody. Looks like everybody else is coming down here on lap number 22. Well, we can see Ricky Rudd as a part of this pack. No, he's going to be coming. So we'll just follow the leader of this pack. Darrell Waltrip and Sterling Marlin. They get out way ahead of everybody else. Sterling Marlin's right on the back of the 17, trying to give him a good push. Now that makes you figure there's going to be a second pit stop in this race. Makes you question, where's it going to be? Now you can see these guys going at 190 miles an hour. And we've got a battle for the lead. They get out in front of that 11 car. These guys are the leaders. And indeed they do. So Sterling Marlin and Darrell Waltrip both fighting for their second win at Talladega right now. Meanwhile, we have Terry Labonte in third. You can see Mark Martin in fourth and Dale Earnhardt in fifth. Well, I shouldn't say Darrell Waltrip's fighting for his second career win. I should say he's fighting for his second throwbacks win at Talladega. Sterling Marlin's just looking for his second career win, period. Darrell Waltrip, of course, 72 career wins, most of all active drivers. Second most of all active drivers, rather. Richard Petty is still active. Oops. 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 Brain fart. Man, Terry Labonte's just got a fast car today, no doubt about it. Junior Johnson hooked him up to have just tons of speed here at Talladega. And whenever he's getting pushed by somebody, man, that car just flies. It's not too fast on its own right, but man, it seems like they got it tuned in to lead a race. Makes you wonder where his buddy is. If you're talking about Geoff Bodine, he's back in the 13th position. He is 7 seconds down on this lead pack. Now you can see the lead pack of 5 cars. They're catching the 90 of Junie Dunleavy. Well, Junie Dunleavy owns the car. That's the 90 of Chad Little. He's driving the car. Meanwhile, single file up here at the front. Mark Martin's got it for now. Oh, an early pullout. Is that going to be enough? It will be. Earnhardt's going to try to go to the front. I think he'll easily have it. He indeed will. Easily. You can see Hutch Strickland trying to run some interference perhaps. Not quite happening though. Terry Labonte's going to go to the lead now after they split Hutch Strickland there. So Labonte goes to the lead now. They come to the line. 21 laps will be remaining in this race. These 5 cars are your leaders. The 57's a lap down. And that second pack is catching. This pack being led by Davey Allison. They're catching at about a half a second a lap. This includes Davey Allison, Dale Jarrett, Tim Richmond, Bill Elliott, Bobby Hillin Jr., and Rusty Wallace. So they are all catching this lead pack. So we'll see how long it takes for them to reel them in. Meanwhile, you can see Jimmy Means running some interference. Looks like everybody gets through okay. And Terry Labonte is going to go back to the lead. Or at least keep the lead, even though he lost it earlier on the lap. The third pack does not appear to be catching much. Meanwhile, there's some possible issues with the 15 car. He's on pit road. So issues with Geoff Bodine. Does not look like he's going to get the avenge that he wants. He will not avenge his win from Daytona. Anyways, you can see this second pack here. They're catching them. And we've got 3 wide for the lead here. Martin is down low. Sterling Marlin is pushing Dale Earnhardt to the lead. That was not really a smart decision competitive-wise, considering how good of a plate racer Dale Earnhardt is. And you can see more of it right there. Earnhardt's just like, no sir, you're not passing me. Do not try to pass me. Or else I will block you all the way to the grass. Oh well, you can see Phil Parsons here in the 55 car. He will not be winning today, as he's going to go 1 lap down. And Darrell Waltrip comes down to the inside of the 6 car, and Waltrip's going to go to the lead. Should be noted, Mark Martin, he's looking for his first career win. Bobby Hillin in that 8 car, he's looking for his first career win. Dale Jarrett in the 29. First career win. And look at this. Oh, Eddie Bierschwale and Phil Parsons go hard into the wall. No caution. No caution. Still green. Waltrip leads. Not for much longer. Here comes Earnhardt to the bottom. Earnhardt's going to get him too. Earnhardt's going to... Yeah, he's going to get him. He's going to get him off of turn 4 here. And now here comes the 9 right to the bottom. He doesn't waste any time. And now here comes Terry Labonte. 3 wide when they come to the line. Earnhardt? It was Earnhardt. Earnhardt by about a half a car length. Terry Labonte to the lead. And we'll see if he can keep the lead going down the back straightaway. He's just going to have to shut the door on the 25 car going into turn 2. Can he do that? He will. And he shuts the door on Dale Jarrett as well. And Labonte's got a really fast car today at Talladega. If there's anybody that's going to win, it's going to be him. Even though Geoff Bodine unfortunately dropped out of the race, he really has a good shot. There he goes. He blocks the 6 again. And now we've got 3 Fords on the bottom. Derek Cope trying to get out of the way of the leaders. It's like, I'm just trying to do as little damage as possible. Meanwhile, everybody leads Terry Labonte out to dry. And Mark Martin is going to go to the lead here. Well, that's definitely huge. Here they come to the bottom. Davey Allison and now Rusty Wallace. And they spread out 3 wide, but no passes are made. Wallace goes to the bottom. He's going to try again. I think both Wallace and Earnhardt are driving on questionable terms. Earnhardt says he's okay for driving, but, you know, there's still a big question mark on top of his head. Can he keep his stuff going? Clearly, he still knows how to drive the Superspeedways really well. He knows how to do it. Look at that. Beauty. But unable to do anything. Allison and Martin. Maybe they'll be the next group, but Earnhardt breaks them up. So Davey Allison, hometown hero, man. If Davey Allison goes to the lead here, man, you're going to hear these fans scream loud for him. Don't forget, you've got Bobby Hillin Jr. too. He's up here. Hutch Strickland also from the Alabama gang. Marlin unable to get the job done there. And Bill Elliott is a somewhat hometown hero. He's just from the next state over in Georgia. And then Richard Petty, he gets up out of the way. Now we'll see what happens here. Everyone leaves Earnhardt out to dry. Bad. You know, the whole field just pretty much saying bad Earnhardt as they go around. And Bill Elliott's going to assume the lead, and that's always dangerous. Yeah. Back in the day, Elliott just takes off. Just takes off. Can't do that anymore because of the equal powers. But boy, Elliott, he'd just take off. No doubt about it. You can see Richmond, and now it looks like he's going to fall down as here comes Terry Labonte. Through the middle. He's going to really try to reel in that 9 car. Elliott got too far out in front, I think. And that's going to cost him dearly. We'll find out. Boy, Labonte taking a little bit longer to reel in the 9 car than I thought he would. He's going to get a run coming into turn 1 here. We'll see if he makes the move. Earnhardt's going to make the move. He'll make the move on Labonte. Labonte's going to have to get out of the way. 10 laps to go here from Talladega. And Earnhardt's going to take over the lead here coming down the back straightaway. Can he hold that going to the line? I highly doubt it because here comes Allison to the bottom. And here we go. Davey Allison is going to take the lead. And, oh, Eddie Bierschwald just barely able to fall through the pack without disturbing anybody. Even though Allison briefly had the lead, here comes Mark Martin trying to get his first career win. Bobby Hillin Jr. is also coming. Oh boy. That'll be big if Hillin gets to the lead. Dale Jarrett is also there. 2 3 out of the top 4 drivers are trying to get their first career win. Jarrett looks low. Don't think he's going to be able to make a move. Marlin looks low. He's not going to either. Richmond looking for a way around Martin. 29 of Jarrett looks low. 8 of Hillen looks low. They're going to be able to get around Tim Richmond. And now the top 3 drivers here on the next lap may consist of all drivers trying to get their first career win. Well, no, that's definitely not going to happen. But we can probably say the top 2. We'll see if Jarrett's able to beat Elliott off into corner number 3. That's going to be unlikely because Martin's breaking the draft between the 2 of them. And Elliott definitely has the faster car. Yep, Elliott dives down low. And there you go. Elliott dives down low again. He's going for the lead. Can he get there? I doubt it. No, he cannot. Was a great move by Mark Martin. And now the fuel questions come into play. Everyone pitted on lap 21, 22. That would put the fuel window lap 42 to 44. These guys are going to have 3 laps to run to the line pretty much. We'll see when they pit or even if they pit. No takers on this lap. Waltrip's got the lead. Hillen's going to try to go to second. He's going to get there. Hillen might try to grab the lead even. I don't think he's going to get there though. He does not. Meanwhile, Waltrip holding his firm hand on the lead. 3 wide for second still. Hillen's able to hold his ground on the inside lane. Any takers for pit road here? We indeed have them. Dale Jarrett and Rusty Wallace. They'll come down to pit road first. Darrell Waltrip still your leader. This race is going to be won by the pit crews, folks. And that's just straight up. This race will be won by the pit crews. You can see Waltrip and Hillen trying to take an interesting approach to get around this lap traffic. I don't know if that's the most sound thing to do, but that's what they're doing. See who else is coming down to pit road. Looks like Waltrip's coming to pit road. So is Marlin. Davey Allison, they're all coming to pit road. That's going to make your leader be the number 8 of Bobby Hillen Jr. with 4 laps to go. And you got to figure everybody else is going to come down pit road this lap. So Bobby Hillen Jr. leading that lap. 5 bonus points, of course. Pretty sure that was the first lap he led. And I think everybody's going to come down pit road here. We'll see. Indeed. Everyone from the lead pack coming down pit road. Schrader, Morgan Shepherd, Kyle Petty. Yep, everyone there. How about everyone in this pack? Everyone there is going in. Meanwhile, oh, we almost had a wreck there. And now we take a look at these guys, because here are your supposed leaders. Davey Allison drops down. We're going to have a really mad scramble for the finish here when we come to the line. There's going to be 3 laps to go. You can see everybody from the previous pack. They're just coming off the pit road now. We'll see who's able to merge up first. There's cars way up the straightaway here. None of them are in contention, though. Your leader's Mark Martin for now. Meanwhile, 3 wide for second. Mark Martin trying to get his first career win. Can he hold on all the way up here for 2 laps? Well, 2 and an eighth of a lap. That's what he needs to hold on for. Can he do it? Here we go. 2 laps to go. Here comes Waltrip out of nowhere. Waltrip trying to win 2 straight Talladega races. Davey Allison. He's trying to win his first Talladega race. 2nd of his career. Things are going to get really interesting once we see the drop of the white flag here. What kind of a race are we going to see to the line? Well, we're going to find that out right now, as here comes the rest of this lap traffic. They're going to get around them. Lap traffic's going to no longer be a threat after this. White flag. Mark Martin's been able to hold on for this long. Can he hold out for 1 more lap? Can he get his first career win here at Talladega? Boy, him and Waltrip are way out there. I gotta tell you what, this is going to be a close finish. If Waltrip decides to pull out, he can decide to pull out anytime he wants if he can get a run, because there's nobody in the back of the pack challenging. Mark Martin, his rookie year was all the way back in 1982. I don't think Waltrip's going to pull out. Finally, Mark Martin's going to come through the tri-oval here at Talladega, and he is going to win his first career NASCAR Winston Cup Throwbacks race. Martin getting the job done at Talladega. In a huge race, too. That's going to put him in the running for the Winston Million. And that's just huge for that team. Mark Martin had to hold off a hard-charging Darrell Waltrip there in the final few laps of the race. The other pack had lap traffic to deal with. Those 2 broke away, and it just set up a battle. Mark Martin was just able to hold off Darrell Waltrip. You can see the results on your left. And that was just a great race. And you can see here, that didn't really affect the standings much. Tim Richmond's now only leads Bill Elliott by 8. And Dale Earnhardt does chop down the points margin a little bit to 39. But it's a big jump. It's a 104-point jump back to Geoff Bodine. The next week that we run, it's going to be the Coca-Cola 600. Mark Martin and Geoff Bodine. One of those 2 have to win that race in order to have a Winston Million contender going into Darlington. We'll see you then.